Hey, you guys. So most of the votes for tonight were for talking about rejection. And then the second topic that got the most votes was about inviting. So I will definitely try to do both, but I think that we should start with rejection because most people voted for that. So I do have a list of podcasts that are all about rejection, which I will put in the chat, and then for anyone who's watching the recording, I'll put it in the comments. But I think what I'll start by saying, and I'll obviously let you guys, ask questions or anything that you want to ask or share. Rejection is something that happens to every single coach. If you listen to any of the top coaches, even at Summit, you will hear these coaches talk about that they still get rejected. Like Rob and Chelsea still get rejected. Like it is just what happens. But I think the most important thing to remember is that it's not personal. If somebody, for example, says that they're not interested in a challenge pack, they're not rejecting you, you guys. They're not saying, you know what, Bree, you suck as a coach. I don't want to work with you. They're basically rejecting the fitness and the Shakeology. They're rejecting a purchase, but they're not rejecting you as a human being. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Like when I get rejected, okay, let's backtrack a little bit. When I used to get rejected, okay, I would take it to heart. I would really beat myself up for it. I would feel sorry for myself. I would throw pity parties, and it would just ruin the rest of my day because I allowed it to. I chose to let that conversation or those conversations and that, those rejections really dictate the rest of my day and the rest of my week and the rest of my month and all that stuff. It really reflected in my paychecks. It reflected in how many challengers I was enrolling. It reflected in how many coaches I was enrolling. It reflected in the lack of rank advancement. Rejection is not personal. It's not like you're asking somebody out on a date and they're like, you're not my type, or I'm only into blondes, so I can't work with you, or you know what I mean? It is not a personal thing. If people don't want what you have to offer, it is only because they, one, might not trust you enough, especially if it's a stranger on social media. That trust is so important. So if somebody rejects you, they might not trust you enough, which is not a bad thing. It just, allows for more room for growth. They either don't trust you enough, they don't really understand the value of what you have to offer as a coach, or how valuable a challenge pack is, or the coaching opportunity, which also isn't a bad thing because it gives you an opportunity to build that relationship and find out more from them about why this is so amazing for them and why they need it in their lives. If somebody rejects you, it could be because they just don't have the money, and they're not even rejecting you. Like I've been saying this whole time, they're rejecting a purchase, but they're not saying, I don't want to buy something from you. They're just saying, I don't have the money. Before we started recording, Heather was joking, but she said, rejection is a state of mind. And I really think that was brilliant because it is. It's all how you perceive it. You can't take it personally. You can't take it to heart. You have to see that rejection as a, you know what? It's just a not right now. Maybe they just don't understand what this is all about. Maybe they don't really know who I am. Maybe they don't trust me enough. Maybe they are too afraid to tell me the truth, that they are afraid to start and they're afraid of, failure. But it's not personal. It's never, never, never personal. Unless someone says to you, Randy, you suck as a coach. I don't want to work with you. It's not personal. It's never going to be like that. And I think that the fear of rejection is something so strong and so real that it's going to hold you back if you let it. But you can't let it. You can't let it because it's going to it's going to paralyze you. Because if you're afraid of being rejected, You're never going to fail forward. You're never going to put yourself out there. You're never going to invite. And what happens if you don't put yourself out there or invite? You're not doing the vital behaviors. You're not going to hit Success Club. You're not going to achieve your goals because you're letting fear of something that's just in your mind get in your way. So that's my 2 cents on rejection. Does anyone have like a question or like a situation that they want to bring up that maybe you need help with? What specifically about rejection do you want to go over? Heather, you want me to unmute you?
Not like combating rejection, but like recovering from it. Like, how do you, like, other than like taking a step back, how do you realize that like it's not a personal attack? Like, how do you talk yourself out of that? Or just like advice wise, other than like taking a breath? Like, is there something you do in that process?
Yeah. Just always knowing that it's not personal. You always have to tell yourself, they're not rejecting me. They're just rejecting a challenge pack. It has nothing to do with me, because knowing that top coaches get rejected kind of makes it a little more like, oh, well, it's definitely not just me. If Chelsea Pearson's getting rejected, I'm going to get rejected. If someone who's in the million club is going to get rejected, we're going to get rejected. It's just how it is. But what you have to do is grow some thick skin and let yourself be okay with it. Let yourself fail. Let yourself, go for no's. Watch that Amy Silverman video on YouTube. Go for 100 no's. The more no's you get, the easier it's going to be like, oh my God, I didn't die. Like, yeah. All right. You know what? That kind of sucked for like a minute, but all right, who's next? I mean, there's like a saying in coaching, it's no. All right, cool. Who's next? Yeah. If that person doesn't want my help. All right, that's cool. Your loss. Who's next? You just gotta, let it roll off your shoulders. And a lot of it has to do with personal development. I mean, so much of it is personal development. Like if you read You Are a Badass or Girl Wash Your Face, that's a really good one about not believing the negativity that you've been fed, not believing the negativity that you're telling yourself. I would really read both of those books. Whoops. And they're definitely, I'll put the podcast in the chat. Sorry guys, we're trying to pack a little bit. But as far as recovering from it, it's just something that you have to tell yourself every single day. I'm not getting rejected. I'm not asking someone to the prom. I'm not asking someone to the movies. This is business. This is
reality. It's not personal. It
exactly.
Just is what it is.
It's like literally, unless someone says to you, you know what, Heather, you're not really my cup of tea as a coach.
Yeah. Not everybody likes peaches.
Exactly. Which is crazy between us. Who doesn't like peaches? Really. But no, it's true. You're not going to be, and I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. That's just how it is. And that's why this opportunity is so awesome, because we are all so different that someone could come to me and realize, you know what, I'm not really vibing with you, but I kind of think I want to work with Heather. I'm not going to take that rejection personally, because this person is going to do well with you. And that's awesome for you guys. And I'll find someone who I work with better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Of course. Anybody else? Mandy, go for it.
Okay. I guess this is more of, I don't know if I'm having an issue with it, but I feel like I kind of do have an issue with people that don't give you a straight answer. Like, so you're constantly following up, and you don't want to follow up too much because you don't want them to, think you're stalking them or something. But when you do respond, like I've responded to or I followed up with someone, hey, just wanted to see if you, took a look at that video or the information I gave you, and then they don't respond at all, then I'll post something, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm interested. So then they'll message me, and then I'll give them more information, and then they like ghost me. So, and I know not to take it personally, but I'm the type of person where I'm like, yeah, I'll keep you around. We can establish a relationship. And if you're not ready now, fine, thanks. Like, let me know. But unless I follow up, they're not going to let me know. So how long do you, I don't know, what do you do?
So I think that we can definitely, Bree and I for sure, can relate to that and understand. So for me personally, what I do, if I see that happening time after time after time, lesson release. Whatever's going on in their life, they're clearly not ready for this. Mm-hmm. I don't want to work with someone who I feel like I have to keep pulling and like you said, like stalking. Mm-hmm. Usually I feel like your gut will tell you whether it's someone that you need to keep, in contact with. Like there are people who, once a month or, once every 3-ish weeks or whatever, I'll follow up with. And if they do what you do and they read my message, they don't respond. Read my message, don't respond. Read my message, don't respond. But they'll comment on something on my Facebook. I'm like, you know what? This person obviously is not either not right for me or they are not ready for what I have to offer. I'm not wasting time and energy anymore because my time is better spent finding people who want my help.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So okay.
That's what I do. Okay. And as far as people not being direct, Lord Almighty, do I understand where you're coming from? I'm a straight shooter. I don't like to beat around the bush. I message people and I'm like, hey dude, I hope it's cool to be forward. You know what I mean? I can't be like, hey, so, how's your dog? I'll do that when it's appropriate. But if I want to get to the point, and I always say, hey, is it cool to follow up with you on Monday? Not just all right, well, I'll talk to you sometime next week, or if you're interested, let me know. No. Hey, are you free at 7:00 on Monday? Always pick a day to follow up. And then 2 days before that, I always check in to be like, hey, are we still on for Monday at 7? I want to make sure that I'm available so I can give you my undivided attention. Let them know that, they mean something to you and they're important to you, because they should be, So did that answer your question?
Yeah, perfect. I'm just I'll talk to you, get to know you, blah, 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 whatever. But at a certain point, I'm like, are you in or not? I don't care if you're not, but can we finally either move on or not?
Right.
But no, you totally answered it because I am the person who is always oh, well, just get back to me or let me know, or I'm always available. But I honestly do not be like, hey, let's follow up this day. I'll be like, can I follow up with you? But I don't give a day or a date or whatever. So yeah, that was exactly what I was looking for.
Cool. I really do understand, because something that I have learned from being a coach is that I don't want to treat people the way that I have been treated, because I think it's not cool. So one, I'm not going to spam people, because when I get those messages, I'm like, oh my God, really? Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I hate that. Or, if somebody sends me a message, even if I'm 100% not interested, for example, I know a girl who does Arbonne, and that's fine. That's cool. I don't care what you guys do, but she knows that I'm a Beachbody coach. She reads my blog. She follows me, comments on my stuff. Hey lady, I wanted to see if you were interested in trying out our products for Mother's Day, which is beyond tacky considering that I'm a Beachbody coach. Kudos to her for trying. But I responded to her and I said, hey, I really appreciate you thinking of me. However, I'm not going to just leave that unanswered, because I can't stand when people ignore me, because it's rude. Just be an adult. And I get people have kids, or maybe they check their phone while they were driving. and they forgot to check back, or dinner was burning. Like, you never know. You always have to give people the benefit of the doubt. But I do agree with you, Randy, that if it happens time and time and time again, you just gotta let them go.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you brought that up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else want to say, Bree, do you have anything you want to add? Okay, go for it.
I think everything you said hits the nail on the head, but the other thing too is like, if someone absolutely wants your help, they're going to come back to you after you've told them the information instead of like waiting around for them. I found that just like, you know, reaching out to them a certain point, and then when I feel like I'm constantly draining my energy and putting it out there for them and they're either ignoring me or not giving me a definite answer, like you said, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to spend my time elsewhere with people that really want my help, that are ready right now, and invest my energy in them. And this person knows the information. I said everything I had to say. So they'll come to me when they're ready. And that might take a day. It might take 2 weeks. It might take a year. So you just really have to be patient and keep finding the people that really want your help, and not spending so much energy, frustration, and like annoyance on people that just aren't ready at the moment. So I think honestly, this is something that everyone can benefit from. And at times it doesn't even matter what you say to them. It's what they really get out of the entire program itself, like what this service really could do for them. Like you could say the worst thing in the world, but if they're really interested, they're going to do it. Like if they're really interested and you're not explaining it properly, they're going to find the information and come back to you if they really want you as a coach and to be part of what it is you're doing. So you just have to keep inviting and not focusing on the people that are draining your energy like that.
It's true. What is it they say that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person? Because like I remember specifically like people that I've talked to that I either gave the wrong information by accident, or I like, you know what I mean? But like they were still the right person for me, and they still ended up like either signing up or enrolling, as a challenge or whatever. But if it's the wrong person, you could say everything right, like textbook perfectly, and they still won't, give in. So everything you just said is perfect. So let's catch up, Heather. We've been talking about rejection and how to handle rejection and how it's not personal, and how it's all in your mind, and it's really basically just a choice. Like, are you going to choose to dwell on it and get upset and frustrated and butthurt, or are you going to choose to say, all right, that's cool, who's next? So that's what we've been talking about. So do you have any questions on the topic of rejection, anything you want to share, or you're good, or you do? Hold on. I unmuted you because I wasn't sure what you were saying.
Hi. Yeah, I'll share. I think I used to get really upset, and like I used to kind of take it personal, honestly, until you and I really started talking about stuff, and until you taught me the good old bless and release. Like, it's so funny because I never ever really release. Like, and these people, the one that I really was upset with, she sent me a message, hey, I'm going with this program, I'm going to do this instead. And like, okay, that's fine. I get a message from her last night, and she was like, hey, when you're done being mad at me, first of all, what? When you're done being mad at me, I would really like to purchase the challenge back. Okay, I'm not sure how you got the impression that I was mad at you, but I would never be mad, and I totally like released her, but here she is creeping back in. So even when I do, like, I'm a paper pencil kind of girl. I'm slowly transforming to Excel after, Rob and Chelsea had that to be mindset thing. I really loved it. So I'm just trying to learn. But I always have a not right now and a rejection people. Like, there are certain people, obviously, that you have to bless and release and leave gone. There are definitely those people. But just like a gut instinct that, you know, the ones that are going to come back, I always put on not right now.
Yes, that's perfect. It's so funny because Bree was just saying how like the right person for you is always going to come back. Like even if it's not right now, they will always find their way back if they really, really want your help. So I love that you just said that because it just further proves that it's true.
It's so true. And like, I need to share this too, and it's not really kind of related to this, but I do need to share. It is no coincidence that this was my most successful month as a coach because I actually did the program every single day. I showed up every day. It's no coincidence at all. And so, you know, you show up every day consistently, you're going to be awesome.
I totally agree. And, you know, success leaves clues. And when you get results and you share it and people see, just like you, like if you're the kind of coach that posts once a month, no one's going to remember that. No one's going to remember that one day last month you posted a workout selfie. They're going to think, oh, that girl worked out one time. You know what I mean? You show up every single day. Every single day. And I'm not saying you have to share a sweaty selfie every single day. But find some way to share what you're doing. People are going to remember that. Like, I went through a shit pregnancy and showed up every single day, showed people all the weight that I lost. They know that this is legit now because they literally watched every single pound not fall off. That's not what I meant because it's really hard, but you know what I mean? So you're totally right. Consistency is so unbelievably important.
It's so huge. I mean, it is huge. There's no doubt about it. Like a Success Club 16, like I didn't even know that existed. Like what? Like that is the most crazy. That's like I could never. There's nothing that can kill my high anyway today. So, you know, just going back to the rejection, like definitely don't take it personal. It's not anything personal. If they say no, it just means not right now. It's not time for them right now. Unless, of course, they're into like airborne or whatever else, prove it stuff. Like those people, I don't even have them in my, and that's another thing. Like I go through and I cleaned through my Facebook, got rid of those people. I don't want them to have access to my people. So I don't know. I guess that's really all I got. What was the other topic? Rejection and what? Inviting?
Yeah. So we're actually, if anyone else has anything that they want to ask or say about the topic of rejection, raise your hand or, you know, oh, there's something in the chat. Hold on. Heather's cat. Oh.
Oh.
That's funny. Angela, did you want to add anything? I know that you missed a little bit, but is there anything on the topic of rejection that you wanted to ask or add or anything that you want to get into? You were more about the invite process? You're unmuted. Go ahead.
I was like, no, I think I just want to listen. I'm still very nervous. Like if I know someone and we talk about it, I'm very comfortable. But as far as talking to people that I'm, like say high school friends, you know, or people that I haven't talked to in a while, or I'm starting to get a little better with it. So I guess I just want to hear how everyone else goes about it without sounding fake, you know, without sounding like, oh, I'm messaging you obviously because this is what I'm doing now, you know, because I don't want it to be that way. Like I saw a friend today that I see a lot and she said that I've motivated her to start working out and that, because she knows, she's like, if it sounds bad, but if she's like, if you can do it, I need to get my ass in there and do this, you know, because I was not this person who worked out every day. And so I was telling her, I was like, well, let's do this, you know, because she has a bunch of videos and she jumps around and my husband, guys, hi. Yeah. And she jumps around from video to video. And I was trying to like motivate her to like, you know, get the Beachbody on demand. Let's get you on a program, you know, let's get you. So I'm more comfortable like being all pumped up and ready to do it if I know you. But I'm a little more shy and timid when it comes to someone that I don't really know and someone that I haven't talked to in a while, or I'm getting better in that. Like you said, if someone compliments one of my pictures, I'll message them and I'll say, thanks for the love. I really appreciate that. And we'll get into a conversation and I'll try to make it more natural as far as the fitness. Like if they bring it up, or I'll mention my Cancun trip coming up and I'm so pumped, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I guess I just want to see how other people go about getting more interest without it seeming too like, you know, fake, or I don't know if that's the right term.
So I'll definitely let other people talk. But what I will say is that it's usually so much more comfortable to talk to people that you know, because that relationship is already there.
Right.
You know, there's no like guessing, like what is this person like? What does this person not like? Are they going to get like weirded out? Are they going to think I'm weird and annoying? And, you know, and it's funny because I think a lot of people actually, what the hell's going on with my hair? I think a lot of people are actually more comfortable with their cold market because they have nothing to lose. Because it's like, yeah, well, I don't really know this person, so what the hell? And I actually feel that way sometimes. Sometimes I feel like super ballsy in the moment, and I will just message, you know, someone I've been like eyeing up, or someone that I've been talking to like through Instagram a little bit, but I don't have like an actual relationship with them. And I'm like, hey, look, I know this is really out of the blue. You know, I don't do the script thing. Like I like to get bits and pieces from scripts to be like, oh, okay. All right, I can see why that would work. Let me put that in my own words now. So I'm just like, hey, look, I know this is so out of the blue. This is so random, and we don't really know each other that well, but I had to tell you blah, 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 blah. You know, something like that. I mean, I personally don't feel like that's fake because I am being very genuine.
Right.
It is very scary, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Just freaking do it, and it stings for a minute, but it's like, all right, I did it. And you know what? It goes back to rejection. If they reject you, well, you didn't die. You just, you know, you built confidence to do it again.
Right.
Does anybody want to chime in on the invite process and how to get more comfortable, you know, just talking to people in general, or how to bring things up without, you know, coming across like maybe fake or something like that? Let's go to Heather.
So what I've learned, I mean, like, I don't know, like, do you want a question or anything? Something that like I've seen is like the more relatable you are, I mean, it's kind of like obvious, but like the more relatable that you are, you know, like mom to mom, like in Serena's case, or swimmer to swimmer in my case, or being a dancer, the more relatable you are to somebody and the more that you can connect with somebody on an emotional level, you are golden. You are set. You are able to talk to them. You can relate to them. You can understand them a little bit better. And then you have that connection. So you're able to grow and build and hopefully sign them up. So that's something that I've learned. Yeah, it's hard to be relatable to everybody. So I'm trying. Serena and I think Brianna mentioned like building like your dream coach. So like I'm trying to figure out like what my niche is, or like who my dream coach is, because like when I have that down, I think it'll help me, you know, build my team. But anyways, but yeah, no, I just want to put that in there because it's helped me a lot. Like, how can I serve this person? How am I like this person? How can I, you know, not be them, but get them a little bit more.
And Heather mentioned in the chat actually to read the 5-second rule, and I think that's perfect because, I mean, I'm not going to spoil the book because it was so good. You have to read it. But basically the whole idea is you count down from 5 and you just go. Like less thought, more action. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Message sent. No turning back. It's like when you drink your Energize and you start to feel all tingly. Well, you got to work out now. You have no choice. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like what Heather said, being relatable. And you know what? Sometimes it might take a month or so to actually bring up Beachbody, and that's okay, because other times you're going to feel more comfortable just saying it. And other times they're going to come to you and they're going to ask, what are you doing? How can I do that? Or what's that workout you're doing? I think something really important to remember is that this is what I tell myself. If there is somebody that you're talking to or that you're thinking of talking to, how would you feel if you found out that they signed up with somebody else today? And that always pushes me to be like, oh my God, I'm just going to get over my fear, because there have been so many people like Brittany, who's one of my coaches. That's why I was like, not after her, because I know that sounds the way that I don't mean it, but I was like, I have to have, this girl has to be one of my coaches, because if I found out that she enrolled with someone else, like, I will be devastated. Like, you have to think that way and just go for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary, but that's how you build your confidence, and that's how you build momentum, is you just freaking go for it. So does anyone else want to chime in on this topic? Go ahead, Brittany.
So I have like a process that I do. Really weird, but for Instagram, what I do is I use certain hashtags, and the one I use so commonly is the day of the week followed by vibe or mood. So if it's Tuesday at night, I'll search like Tuesday vibe or hashtag Tuesday mood. I do that Wednesday mood, Wednesday vibe, and for some reason, because so many different types of people will show up throughout that thread. And what I do is I just go through it. If someone catches my eye, maybe they have nice hair, they're really pretty, or they posted a workout picture, or they have a nice dog. It's something that I genuinely like. I'll like it and compliment the picture. And then go to their profile and just check them out and like their stuff, comment on their stuff. Not overwhelmingly, maybe 2 or 3 pictures. And it's funny because the following morning, you'll find that a majority of these people will like your stuff back and comment on your stuff back, and they might follow you, or I'll go and follow them if I see that they're interacting with me, and boom, now I have a new follower. So then after that, sometime during the following day or within that week, I'll make an Instagram poll and talk about my new group or coaching, something where I can put a poll up, and those people that I newly reached out to the day before or the week before, they'll probably vote on it, and that gives me the opportunity to reach out to them. But if it doesn't and they don't vote on it, I'm still going to interact with them here and there when they pop up on my news thread and talk to them, continue to build a relationship. And over time, if you do this a little bit every single night, spend 5 or 10 minutes a night doing it, your list is really going to build up, and you're going to have people that you're spending these conversations with, and they're following you, they're watching you, seeing what it is they're doing. They're going to ask questions, and you're going to up your clients. It's a strategy I've been doing for like 2 months, and I've seen it work a few times. So I just wanted to put that out there.
That's awesome advice. I love how you brought up the Instagram poll, because like, you guys can talk about anything you want on your Instagram stories, and you can make your polls about anything. Like, it doesn't have to be about coaching or fitness necessarily. Like, it could be really about anything. Like, I like to do them when I'm in the dressing room. Like, I'll try something on. And even if I already know that I'm going to buy it, sometimes I just kind of like put up a poll anyway for, you know, like conversation's sake. It'll be like, do you like this? Yes or yes. And I'll have like a picture of my coffee with a straw, because I will not drink coffee with a straw. Weird like that. It'll say like, do you drink coffee with a straw? Yes, or obviously, duh, or like something like that. Like, make it your personality. Like, really showcase who you are, and then go through. I know we're like straying like a tiny little bit, but like, if you go through the list of all the people who even looked at your story, there could be at least 10 people there that you've never actually talked to, and just say hi. Find something, go to their page. Like Bree said, find a picture that you like of theirs and be like, oh wow, your nails look really pretty. Like, that's what I do. Like, I can't tell you how many people I've seen on Instagram that I was like, oh my God, you are so pretty. Like, I'm obsessed with telling girls how pretty they are, because I feel like they don't hear it enough. Like, maybe it's just some psychological thing from my childhood. I don't know. I'm always finding some way to compliment people, and that can get the conversation going for sure. All right. Oh, yes. Go for it.
I'm gonna go back to what Heather said. Don't make it all about Beachbody at all at first, and especially if, and I know we've talked about this before, and I will certainly reach out to you and chat with you a little bit this week and give you some of my invites. I know I've sent a few of them to you, but yeah, I'll do that this tomorrow afternoon. Mike leaves, and I'll get on there and chat with you. But I do, I'm a pilot wife, so I reach out to a ton of pilot wives. But like before I was a Beachbody coach, people would reach out to me and they'd say right away, hey, your personality is really great. I think you'd make an awesome. And I'm like, nope, bye. First of all, number one, because Serena's always been like waiting and waiting and waiting. So I never would do that to Serena. And second of all, because that's so tacky. Like, when I know this person is messaging me just because they're a coach and they think my personality, that's just so tacky. So like what Heather said, I totally build relationships. I comment on something. I go on, actually, one of the biggest things that has been successful for me, Ange, is I find in like pilot wives groups, chronic pain groups on social media, then I become friends and I add to my network that way. I'll comment on stuff in like those groups, add to my network, build a relationship. I spend about a week just chatting, and Heather and I actually, like, we'll check in with each other, and like she'll be like, okay, I started this conversation on this day, and now like 5 days later I'll be like, okay, did you bring up Beachbody yet? She's like, okay, I think I'm just now gonna like bring up Beachbody. So it's just like you get to know them. Like you don't just, if you don't know them, of course, obviously. Now, if you know them, it's really different. This is your cold market. I'm talking about people you don't know. I think that's huge. I think it's really important to reach out. It sounds so silly because like tomorrow it's going to take me all day, but I'm going to try to reach out to everybody that I haven't reached out to that liked my transformation post, which is like 80 people. Like it's going to take me forever, but if I don't reach out to them, I'll still put them on a list. Like make lists. Like lists are huge. Let me see what else. Instagram stories have been great for me. I just finally started like putting them through to Facebook as well. But I got 3 people that I never ever would have gotten before if I didn't Instagram. So that's all I really got. Just invite. I'll reach out to you tomorrow when Mike leaves and we can chat and I can send you some sample stuff that I use. Cool? Cool. I'm going to go hang out with my hubby now. Okay, Serena? Okay. Bye. Bye, guys.
Something I want to add, actually, Heather just reminded me, you can send or ask for referrals. I know a lot of people get a lot of success doing this. I have okay success. I mean, like it's enough that like I'm going to keep doing it. So what I have done before is I'll reach out to people who have just flat out told me no. And I'll be like, hey, sometimes I'll get straight to the point, and other times I want to make sure that I'm polite and I'm like, hey, how are you first? Because I can't stand when people message me without like even a hi. Like that drives me insane because it's like, okay, like now I know that you're not actually wanting to talk to me, but whatever. So I'll be like, hey, look, I know that what I'm doing isn't for you and that's totally cool, but I was wondering if you know of anybody who would be interested in, and then I'll just like list a few things that I feel like are for me the most important about either coaching or about my challenge groups. So I'll say like, do you happen to know anybody who needs to lose weight, be surrounded by a ton of positive support, something like that. And I've actually been able to get a few girls who are like, me, one of my coaches, she's a coach now because I said to her, hey, do you happen to know anybody? Because I didn't really know her very well and I didn't want to flat out ask her. So I thought, you know what, we have enough people in common. Maybe she does know somebody, like maybe like her sister or her mom or somebody. Maybe that's a great way for me to start to, be able to help more people. She was like, me actually, I'm going to try that. And I'm like, oh my God, no way. So that's something that you can try. because I mean, I think that's still genuine. You still are looking to help people without directly being like, hey, I wanted to know if you wanted to be in my challenge group. Because I think that a lot of people still look at inviting as literally saying, hey, I'm doing a challenge group. Do you want to be in it? Like, I don't know. If that works for you, like, that's cool. But I don't know. The thought of that kind of makes me like throw up in my mouth a little bit. I don't know. It's just not for me. I think it's a little bit, bleh, whatever. But anyway, so does anyone else have any questions or comments or anything about either rejection? You know what, while you guys are thinking, I'm going to add, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 podcasts that I really like. It's the Life Coach School for the first 3. Chalene Johnson is How to Love Negative Feedback. And then the last one is Brendan Burchard. You guys should for sure be listening to Brendan Burchard in the Life Coach School and Chalene on the regular. Absolutely. So I put those in there. I want to make sure that we get to, answer all of your questions, or if you guys have any other concerns or anything about inviting or rejection. What's up, Jess?
Hey. So yeah, I'm like really new to this, so I'm still like figuring everything out. But I had someone message me today because I've been posting a lot on my Instagram story about like nutrition and stuff. And like I feel like a lot of people are either like, oh, I have a really good fitness regime, but I need help with nutrition, or I'm good with my nutrition, or I just need help with the workouts or whatever. So it's always like one or the other. At least lately it has been. And this one girl is like, oh, I've been working out 3 days a week. I just need help with portion control. And so I explained to her the whole thing, but I don't know if she would be interested in signing up for a challenge pack. And I didn't really know how to like go out about like, explaining the whole, like I explained like the at-home workouts and that it comes with a nutrition plan and stuff like that. But like, how do I make that transition into like talking about the challenge pack?
If it was me, so what I do when I talk to people, I always end it with a question so that they kind of like have to answer. You know what I mean? Like I'll give them the information and I'll be like, what do you think? Or what you think? Or, does that sound cool? Or can you see yourself doing that? Like something like that. Or I'll be like, hey, do you have a few minutes to watch a video that fully explains exactly what we do? And then bam, when they say yes, you just drop the YouTube clip. It's on our team page. It's the annual All Access Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack. It's a 3.5-minute video on YouTube. I'll make sure to tag you in it, Jess. And I'm telling you, if I was not a coach and somebody sent that to me right now, my credit card would be out. I would be buying a challenge pack right this second. Like it is so brilliant. It explains everything. Exactly what Shakeology is, exactly what challenge groups are, Beachbody On Demand, everything. So maybe try that moving forward, being like, hey, do you have a few minutes? I can send you a really, really short video that explains everything.
And so like instead of like typing out a whole long thing about nutrition, just be like, can I send you this video?
Yeah. And see, or, you can say, yeah, I will definitely tag you in that for sure. You can say, hey, are you open to watching this video?
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to say no. Like nobody wants to admit, no, I'm not open to it. So hey, are you open to watching this video? It'll explain everything. Because then 1, you're saving yourself all that time typing out a whole long thing, right? Mm-hmm. And 2, I guarantee this video will explain it better than any of us can.
Yeah.
And then it, I feel like when you type sometimes, like you run the risk of like verbal diarrhea. And then we're like, oh, I said too much. Oh God.
That's me.
We've all done it, trust me. Sometimes I still do it and I'm like, oh, Serena, come on, you should know better by now. But this video will like literally get right to the point. So that's what I would do.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one more question though.
Sure.
Like what if someone is okay, so like I have a friend who has been working out every day, like wants to like, well, he first of all he wanted to find a nutrition shake, and so I tried to like explain to him the Shakeology, and also his nutrition is horrible. So like how do you like, you know, sort of like he's not looking for help with his nutrition, but like, and this has happened with other people too, they're like, oh, I know what to do, but like nothing's working. Like how do you say like, I think you need help with this, or like without being like too forward and like sounding mean, like you're doing it wrong?
You don't.
Yeah.
That's my honest answer. You don't. You can't, because if someone isn't willing to change their ways, you can't convince them. And you don't want to convince somebody. It's hard, but you want to respect their decision. And
Right.
when they're ready, because they're hitting plateau after plateau and nothing's working, all right, you know what? Maybe I need to change something. Hey, Jess, remember that one time you told me about that thing? I think I'm ready for it. I think I need to change. That's happened to me so many times where people were like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I would see their food pictures and I'm like, oh, you are not good.
That's happened to me like 5 times so far. Like I'm like, you are so not good. Like
So what you have to do is honestly just be like, they're not ready for what I have to offer, and that's fine. I promise you at least half of these people will come around in the future when they're stuck in the same size, in the same weight, and nothing is happening, nothing is changing. They're gonna come back to you. But yeah, you can't tell somebody, hey, you need to eat better, if it's not something that they actually care about, because no matter how nicely you try to say it, they're gonna be like, why are you telling me how to eat? And,
I would never do that. Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I know you wouldn't. Just like in general, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I think that's a really good question to ask, because I think probably everybody has faced that situation.
Been my biggest challenge so far.
I understand totally, but I think the most important thing to do is be like, that's awesome. Or if
That's exactly what I said.
yeah, that's what I say too. Like, awesome, good luck. If
Mhm.
if I know somebody who's doing a challenge, like there was a girl I was talking to, she was doing, oh God, Herbalife or something. I can't remember which one it was, but she was doing like some 30-day challenge. And I was like, hey, can I follow up with you after your challenge is over? Because chances are they're not going to want to pay $200 a month, which is what they pay to keep up with all of those vitamins and pills that they have to take. Or if someone's doing, like I know a girl who was doing some insane diet, like horrible diet, and I was like, God, Serena, just don't say anything, just respect it and be like, awesome, I can't wait to hear about it, let me know how it goes. And then like I'll follow up with them in a few months in a few weeks to see how it goes. And every single time they either fell off, oh, I stopped because blah 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 blah, and I'm always like, oh, that stinks. And then that's how you can be like, you know, working your way back into what you have to offer. But you have to let people just make mistakes on their own and figure things out on their own. Because like when it's their idea to get a challenge pack, it's in their control instead of it being your idea and you like telling them that you want them to do it. When they come to you, it's like, all right, I'm ready. This is my decision now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's hard. I had a girl the other day who was like, oh, I'm dieting with a bunch of girls at work. So I said to her, that's awesome. When you guys hit plateaus, you let me know and I'll be there for you. Like, I couldn't help it.
Oh my God.
I don't talk to people that way because it's not very nice. And I wasn't being a jerk, but I
just know it's not going to work.
I did say it because oh, well, a bunch of girls and I are dieting. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, when you guys hit your plateaus, I'll be here to help you. Let me know.
That's great.
I mean, you know, whatever. But anyway, all right. So anybody else? I feel like we covered a lot of really good information. Everyone good? Don't be shy. Yes.
I'm going to ask a really weird question. So I've told you this before, Serena. I work at a doctor's office, and my doctor it's a small office. She's totally on board with me. Like she started Beachbody. She's going to start on Monday, actually. And because she started, my sister who also works there is doing it now. And she's always telling her patients, about what I did, how much weight I lost. And we're always trying to because she, as a doctor wants them to be healthy and sees that this is a great program. So she's always trying to talk to Angela. So there's a lot of patients too. They'll come to the desk and we'll talk about it for a while. And I made up not very fancy. I'm going to get cards like you suggested, but just, with my name and my information, my Facebook stuff, my phone number, all that stuff. And I'm like, find me on Facebook. We'll talk about it. This is great. They're like, yeah, I really want to. And then I don't hear from them. Would it be like crazy stalkerish if I found them on Facebook?
No, not at all. And what you can do, ask them, hey, you know what? I ran out of business cards. Do you happen to have one? And if they don't, be like, hey, are you on Facebook? Why don't you
do it right there?
Yeah, do it. That's what I always do. Write that in there, or just grab a piece of paper. Hey, write down your phone number, write down your email, write down your Facebook. Like if you take control of that situation, you're more likely to be successful because you'll be able to find them. But if you give them all the information,
right,
you never hear from them and you don't have their phone number.
Because especially one lady today, we had a lot in common. She has a baby who's about 7 months old. And, I have my 16-month-old. We were talking about, she's like, oh, man, we're about the same age. And she's like, I haven't been able to lose the weight since this. I go, yeah, we're getting older. It's getting harder. This has really worked for me. I showed her my before and afters. She's like, oh, my God. I'm like, I know. This is great. She's like, oh, I'll do it tonight. I'll do it tonight. So I gave her the card. And then, I'm like, find me. And it has my Facebook, everything. But I haven't heard from her. So I was thinking all right, so that's what I'll start doing now. Be like, oh, are you on Facebook? Let's exchange now to kind of do it. Because I think if I do it while I'm now, it's kind of seems a little weirder than that's a good suggestion to kind of do it while we're there. Are you on Facebook? Let's exchange. Let's, all right. Because I feel I feel like I have 2 potential people that I could have, 3 actually, that I can think of off the top of my head that were totally about it. And then, like you said, it's hard for someone to follow up, but if I took the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. When I go to Zumba, and I meet people that I just vibe with, I'm like, hey, are you on Facebook? Type your name into my phone. And also we were saying before, I think you missed this part, but if you don't hear from them right away, just give them the benefit of the doubt, especially if it's a mom. Lord knows what happened, the baby had a meltdown or his teeth or whatever it is. Definitely give them the benefit of the doubt, but moving forward, for sure, take initiative.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Cool.
All right, you guys. Well, I really appreciate you being here. I feel like we covered a lot of really good information. I will tag you in that Beachbody on Demand video. Chelsea actually just went live in the 2B Mindset group. So if you guys are in that, I would definitely get on now because she's going to be giving out really important information about next steps since the program is released tomorrow. I hope that if you are doing this program, that I will see you in the test group with Alana, coach only test group, which is amazing. And as always, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to post on the team page. And, if I can't message you back, utilize each other. And this was a really awesome call. I really appreciate you guys. All right. Have a great night. Bye.